This happened when I was a small child, probably around 4 after I had experienced what I know now as a near-death experience. I was with my grandmother, who was very healthy, still is very healthy for a 70-year-old woman, for her age. We went trekking across our property with a picnic basket in tow, just looking to sit down with our dog and have a nice time, normal grandparent stuff. We ended up crossing the creek. It was dry at that time, to go to the back pasture. Nearby, probably 50 yards away, was our cedar tree. We had sat down and started eating when our dog started acting crazy. This dog, bless her soul, was an angel. Did not act like a dog most of the time. She never barked, never jumped, always acted polite. She went nuts, running in circles around us, growling and barking. My grandmother got concerned, so she put our picnic stuff back in the basket and tried to calm herself down. I was sitting a few feet away, scared because my dog was growling. I will admit, my memory gets fuzzy around here, but I do remember seeing a large gray creature step out of the creek we had previously walked through. It was tall. I'm not gonna guess because I was so young and don't want to overshoot it, but I do remember it being gray-skinned, with skin that seemed too tight and stretched, a sharp pointed head, and I think there was some kind of antlers or horns on it. My grandma scooped me up and booked out of there. Our dog was running with us. I am 90% sure she ran to the cedar tree. She always talks about being her favorite tree and about how protective it is. The tree was a lot closer than her house. That was roughly a half a mile away at this point. I just know our dog calmed down and I was happier. No, I don't live in the Southwest. I live in the South Central East in Arkansas, close to Louisiana. So I have no idea what could it be. This was a sighting claimed by Katrina98 on Reddit.
Now let's dig deep and embrace the strange.
Something strange about the Louisiana Elusive Rougarou. This myth has many versions to it. This one version from the 16th century has the Rougarou as being as something similar to a genetic disorder, which is quite interesting and possibly a more realistic and an easily digestible version to other people, because another story has it painted as being a curse, as most other versions of myth portrays the Rougarou as being. Now, let me slow down. Pardon to those who are not familiar with the Elusive Rougarou. The Rougarou is a legendary creature spoken in tales in French communities, linked to a European notion of the werewolf. However, there are several distinctions between them. Now, the Rougarou would live life as a normal person until some event occurred that triggered the condition. I'm sure we are all familiar with the full moon event. Well, at least in this version. Now dig this. Their body would then undergo a transformation and they would develop a craving for meat. Their full transformation into the Rougarou form will be completed once they had the first bite of human flesh. Now, this story of the Rougarou is said to have changed once French immigrants or French Canadian immigrants came to, which is now known as Louisiana. Across French Louisiana, it is a very common legend. And most Louisiana natives are very familiar with at least the name, if nothing else. Now, we have to remember that this is a legend that is rooted by oral traditions. This creature is said to prowl around the swamps around Great New Orleans and the sugarcane fields in the woodlands of the region. They are described as a creature with a human body, and what makes it terrifying is that the head is shaped as a wolf or a dog. They are described as standing about 7 to 8 feet tall, glowing red eyes with horrid, sharp teeth. Now the eerie part is that not only do you have to worry about coming across this Rougarou, but legend has it that any person walking in that area can be the creature in human form. It could be the librarian, the teacher, the dentist, the cashier. Any one of them can just transform into this big creature before you at any given time when the mood is just right. Some residents in that local city have even claimed to have heard the terrifying growls at night while they're asleep. There's a story in the Nicholsworth, a local college paper, titled Rougarou Remains Strong Figure in Cajun Folklore. It recounts a story from a woman about an experience in her youth. She says a local boy was being followed by a dog when he decided to cut it with his pocket knife. The boy saw the dog turn into a man, then ran home to tell his family. According to the woman, and I'm going to quote this, the next day, a prominent physician appeared in town with his right arm cut and in a sling. I remember when the physician shot himself here in Lockport. A year later, the boy killed himself and left a letter that the family turned over to the sheriff. Even today, he refuses to let anyone see it, unquote. So the next time you're visiting Louisiana and you're out there partying, just remember, within the sea of people, and if the moon is bright and full, look to see if you can spot anyone leaving hastily, because that person could possibly be shifting into the Louisiana Elusive Rougarou.